Welcome back to another Coffee and a Chat. Got my coffee. I'm good to go, and it's a good cup this morning. Oh, man. so, God is amazing. He is so awesome. And yeah, I am really blessed and grateful and hopeful and at peace and all that I get to do life with the creator of the universe, that you can do life. You get to do it with the creator of the universe. He doesn't push us away. He wants to do life with us. He's waiting for us to pay attention to him, to show our interest. He likes you. He likes me. He wants to hang out with us. Other people may not feel the same, but the creator of the universe, the Lord God Almighty, the great I am, feels good things for us. And he has good plans for us. Not evil. He doesn't want to harm us. He's the answer to everything we face. So I'm being reminded of a time when I was a little girl. So my dad he had aunts and uncles, but they were my brothers and my aunts and uncles. And he had cousins, but they were our cousins. My dad was quite a bit older than most of his cousins. And so some of them were even maybe closer in age to my brothers and I. Well, I know one, she and my brother were just about basically the same age. I think they were within a year or so of each other. But, and I was quite a bit younger than my older brother and my little brother and I. So, we weren't right there with anybody, but there were some we were close in age to. And then there were those that, they were teenagers while we were little kids. And so there was this one particular cousin, and I just thought she was beautiful and smart and talented. And I was like maybe 5, 6 years old. And I wanted to be like her when I grew up. I just thought she was the most amazing female on the face of the planet. And you know how little kids, you can tell when they really like somebody, and and especially like with their parents, you'll see that they try to walk like their mom or their dad. They try to talk like them. They mimic things because they think they're great and they want to be like them. Well, I was this way with this girl cousin. Wherever she went, I wanted to go there, and I would watch how she'd walk, and I'd try to walk like her, and I'd listen to how she'd talk, and I'd try to talk like her, which just ended up being humorous because I was a very little kid and I couldn't do it. But you know how cute it is, and we love it. But the thing with this cousin is, I don't think she ever really noticed that. I don't think she ever fully grasped hold that she had this little shadow following her around. I mean, she had younger siblings that, she was used to them just hanging out and being around and whatever. And I think, that they kind of blended into the wallpaper sometimes, and I blended in right with them. So she never really got it. But I had this younger brother, it was 18 months younger than me, and she did notice him. She thought he was just the cutest little thing, and she just loved him so much. And she always wanted to pay attention to him. And I'd be sitting there like, but I'm here too. Pay attention to me. I want to be just like you when I grow up. He won't want to be like you. But she only had eyes for him. And the day came when she got married, and I had a heart full of dreams that I would be her flower girl. I didn't get asked to be her flower girl. Somebody else got to be the flower girl. But my little brother was asked to be the ring bearer. And I remember that it broke my heart. And she wasn't trying to break my heart. She was very kind to me and everything. She just didn't get how much I liked her and wanted to be like her, and how I just was just constantly, when I was around her, I mean, she had my full attention, and I was taking mental notes and practicing because I wanted to be like her. It's just one of those things sometimes that, we all do it. We overlook somebody and we don't even realize we're doing it or how they feel about us. And I can't fault her, because evidently I did something similar and didn't even realize it. So when I got married to my first husband, it was legal for me to get married to him, but I was a child. I mean, I had just turned 18. It was like 30 days after my 18th birthday, we're getting married. And I didn't really know him. There was a lot involved there. There was a lot of pressure and manipulation and stuff going on, because for some reason which I think I spent the rest of my life with him trying to figure out what the big deal was, why he wanted to marry me, because often I kind of felt in the way or whatever, but I must have served some purpose. But, and I definitely loved him. But after I had gotten married, I mean, just maybe within a few weeks, I was over at my mom and dad's, and I think it was because we were getting ready to move to another state, and I was going to be far from my parents, and I went and see them for a while. And so I had been able to get over there and spend a little time with them. And they started telling me about this boy at church in my youth group, and how he was devastated that I got married. And I'm like, why would he be devastated? I mean, I knew him, we were the same age. He was a very nice boy, but he was very quiet, very shy. You didn't hear him hardly ever speak. He had, some close guy friends, and they usually spoke for him. I mean, this guy was just very, very shy. Well, it turns out that he had this massive crush on me, even thought he was in love with me, but he didn't know how to let me know. And I remember there was he and this other guy in our youth group, and the other guy had said, hey, this guy and we want to take you, to the movies, and and out to dinner or whatever, and it was like, I just thought it was funny, that, and it was a big joke. Angie's going out on a date with two guys at one time. Now, this is back when things were more innocent, you guys. When we went out on a date, I mean, we went out and we went to dinner or to a movie or bowling or whatever. It wasn't all the stuff that might mean now. Not at all. And so, I just was hanging out for the evening with these two guys from my youth group, basically. And I guess it was called a date, and I thought the whole thing was funny. Well, I thought that the one guy might be interested in me because he kept trying to talk to me, get me engaged in conversation. But what I didn't know is he was trying to do it for the other guy. What is that old story? I can't think of the guy's name, but it's the guy, and he's not that great looking, but he's in love with this woman, and he can't really no, it is the good looking guy that likes her. I can't remember how it goes. I know they did a movie of it, a modern version with Steve Martin, and Steve Martin was the guy with, he had a big nose, and this really good looking guy liked this girl, but he couldn't talk right. So he would stand in the shadows and speak to her window, and it would really be the other guy giving him the words. And anyway, so she falls in love with the other guy, who's speaking for him. Whatever. If you know what I'm talking about, it was one of those kinds of things. So this one guy is trying to get me engaged in a conversation to help the other guy try to join in, and he's trying to get me interested in the other guy because the other guy really is interested in me, and I think he's interested in me, so I'm kind of paying attention to him because he's at least talking. And So I ended up, I guess, breaking this boy's heart, which was really shocking to me because I didn't expect that anybody really liked me quite like that. So I ended up feeling really bad about that. I mean, what are you going to do? But I ended up feeling really bad about that this boy, evidently for quite a while, had this crush on me and really liked me, but he was too shy to speak up. And so I never had a clue. And because I would have definitely paid attention to him and been, and talked to him, even if he couldn't talk back. If I knew what was going on, um, I would have done things differently. I know I would have, because I wasn't a mean person, and I didn't make it a habit of ignoring people and stuff. And sometimes we just innocently overlook somebody. We don't mean to. And sometimes maybe we are cruel. Maybe sometimes we are mean, and we think somebody's not good enough or whatever. I hope that's never been me, but can't guarantee it hasn't been. I mean, we all do some really stupid things in life. But the thing with me is, even though this boy had a crush on me and everything, um, you know, I'm sure my thought was, yeah, but if we ever really went on a date, just the two of us, he would have been going, yeah, I don't know what I saw in her. Because for me, I always felt like the absolute best I was going to be able to do was second best, that I was always going to be the runner up, the understudy, that I never would be the star, the winner. And, and I felt that way growing up with my younger brother. Um, Most of our growing up, we were really good friends. We were 18 months apart in age. We had a lot of the same friends. We did a lot of things together, but but he was always the superstar. He was always the hero. Whatever I did, he could do better. When I was 13, I taught myself to play guitar and started writing songs. I wrote a little song for my mom for Mother's Day and stuff. And and at first, everybody was so proud of me and stuff. And then my brother taught himself to play guitar, and he was way better at it. And he started writing songs or whatever. And and I soon kind of faded away, and and then I just didn't pursue things like I probably should have. I still played for a lot of years just for my own enjoyment, but I always was like, yeah, but I'm no good. And I didn't really like people to hear me play. It was hard for me to play where people could hear me, because I just thought, well, it's really not that good. Everybody else is better. And, so I always felt that my younger brother excelled beyond me, and that I just couldn't do it. And my older brother, he was, real smart and could do different things, and, he would excel over me and stuff. And then, and I think really the root of it all goes back to the abuse when I was little, because if I hadn't gone through that, I probably would have had more confidence and felt better about myself. But yeah, being abused has a way of just kind of robbing you of all of that and replacing it with a lot of self-contempt. So in life, I've usually felt like second best is the best I could do. And, I'm not going to be the prom queen. It's going to be somebody else. Oh, I might be able to get in the contest, but it won't be me. And just kind of that feeling in life. Well, I'm telling you this because this morning, as I've been chasing God down and saying, speak to me. What's going on? What do you want me to share today? Because I don't want to share my heart. I want to share your heart. His heart, not your heart. I don't know your heart. I sometimes barely know my own, but I want to share his heart, and I want to share his heart with you. And I would imagine that 90% of those that watch this video be going, yeah, I know. Wow, she was lucky to even be able to be second best. I couldn't even get in the contest. I know that probably most of us feel like we can't quite get it. There's that little percentage that their egos are out like this, and it's really, easy. They want to be in the spotlight, and they know people are going to love them, and they expect to be the best. And I've never had that kind of confidence. But what been hearing from the Lord this morning is the quiet ones, the ones that aren't the ones that you usually would think would be in the spotlight, those that don't have the confidence, that don't, kind of the underdogs maybe in a lot of ways, that he's going to use them. That God is in these last days going to use the ones that people would never expect to be used of God in great ways. That he's going to put words in your mouth, and he's going to guide you and direct you, and he's going to put people in your path. Now, some of you may just be ministering one-on-one as people come through your life. In fact, the majority of us, all of us, need to be ministering that way, but the majority of us is going to be a one-on-one encounter with people in our life, and opportunities that God puts before us to speak on his behalf, and to share things with them, and to share Christ. And as we live our faith out in front of people, that's a powerful thing. When people begin to see Christ in us, when they see how we go through the hard things and we're not shaken and we're not rattled, and when we say, it's okay, God's going to take care of it, he'll provide. When there's no vehicles running and no money to fix them, and you can't even go out and make a living because you don't have the vehicle to make the living with, and somebody's like, what are we going to do? We're going under. No, we're not. God knew about this. He knew it before it happened, and he's already taken care of it. We just we haven't got to that point in time to receive what it is that he's doing to take care of it. It's going to be okay. When we start living our faith like that and trusting Jesus rather than falling apart, and people see that, and their lives are falling apart, and they're not sure what to do, but they're like, how can you be so calm through this? How can you have the peace? Because I don't have to rely on me. I know that God is the one that supplies my need. He's the one who will deliver in this situation. He's the one that's going to get me through. When we can honestly, sincerely, legitimately do that, and people begin to witness that in us, and they're like, I need that. Okay, so if you're an ordinary Joe or an ordinary Jane, the good news is God wants to do great things through you. And one of the things that the ordinary people have that is to their advantage is most people in that situation are very humble and grateful for any little thing that God does to use their lives. And it is important, as God uses each one of us, whether you're the guy who shines bright, like a bright star, and loves being in front of people and handles it well, or you're the quiet little guy that is scared to talk in front of a lot of people, and you just keep it small, and you don't expect that God would ever use you. No matter where we are, on which end of the spectrum or anywhere in between, we need to keep a humble heart. We need to know that we're a vessel and it's God moving through us. It's not us. Because it's the humble heart that God can really use. A proud heart, God doesn't even like a proud heart. So pride becomes the enemy that we must avoid allowing to come in to our lives. And humility is what needs to stay there. And for me, if I start not being humble, God has a way of humbling me really quick and putting me right back where I belong. And I haven't always been happy about that, because if you've ever been humbled, it's not a pleasant experience on many levels, but I'm grateful. And I've grown and matured to a point where I understand that is a good thing. Allowing me to stay in a prideful heart would be a bad thing. So expect that God's going to use you, because he wants to, and he will, if you'll allow him. And be humble and know that it's him, not you, that does the work. You are the vessel he flows through. So keep that place of humility in your heart, and be listening, be seeking him, be drawing in close to him. Make him the top priority of your life, because he's not going to ignore you. He's not going to overlook you. He's not going to reject you. He loves you, and he desires to move through you. And there are people that he can reach through you that he can't reach through other people. And it's because of the things you've been through in life. It's because of the way you are. It's because of your personality and your struggles and the hardships, as well as the blessings that you've endured in life. It's because of the testimony that you carry that will touch people, that the testimony that I carry or that person over there carries won't touch them, because we've not been through what they've been through. See, God uses each of our stories to touch somebody else's. So there are people that you have things in common with. And because of that, you can speak into their lives in a way that somebody else couldn't. So, do you want to be used of God? Do you want to be his voice piece? Do you want to be his hands? Do you want to be his love to others? If you want to, and you allow it to be him and not you, don't try and do it on your own. Don't go out there and do your own thing, because that will fail. But if you're willing to open yourself and be his vessel, and allow him to flow through you, he's going to use you. He absolutely is going to use you. And my experience has been, there's no greater joy or feeling than when God uses me. It gives me a reason to keep going. There's been many times in my life that I would be like, Lord, just take me home. I'm tired. I'm so done, and I don't want to be hurt anymore, and I don't want to hurt anymore, and just take me home. But then he would do something through my life that would touch another person's life, and just surprise me, because I hadn't expected it. And then it's like, okay, Lord, I'll stay a little longer, because that is wonderful. We all need a purpose in life. As a child of God, I have no greater purpose than serving him. I have no greater joy in anything I do than serving him. So I'm trying to learn obedience more and more. I'm trying to surrender my own will to him more and more, where it needs to change. It needs to get better. Put people ahead of me, or be willing to let go of my stuff to be a blessing to them, whatever it is. So if you really desire it and you will submit to him, he wants to use you. See, we're stepping into a time, there's going to be some massive changes in 2024. I don't know what they are, but change seems to be the big theme that I'm hearing here just a few days before this calendar is going to flip over and be a whole new year. And every year for many years now, God, right, coming into the new year, He'll give me that this is what it's going to be. And sometimes it's been hard. He's told me this is going to be a year of death. Now, sometimes the things he's told me haven't been like a global thing. Sometimes it's been more regional or maybe just my own life. But I'm hearing him speak globally more and more. And what I'm hearing for 2024, it's a year of change, of unexpected things. Some good and some not good. From our perspective of what we go through with it. But part of that is, we're used to seeing the big TV preachers and everybody, idolizes them. You've got people wanting their autographs. And I actually used to be in a place in life where I had people request my autograph, and I used to think that was so funny, but it kind of pumped you up that somebody, because you had sang at something or whatever, it usually had to do with music. But here's people that want your autograph. And now, if I was to go back and do it all over again, I would never sign an autograph. What is the point of that? That's people idolizing people. We shouldn't do that, and we shouldn't allow anybody to ever idolize us. My autograph, nothing special. It's not worth anything any more than anybody else's. I've allowed myself at times to, it was always second best, but but I've allowed myself to be put on some pedestals. And if I had to do it all over again, I ain't climbing up on that pedestal, because all I'm going to do is fall off. Yeah. Maybe we seek greatness. Everybody wants to be somebody important, somebody great. And the thing is, if you're a child of God, you're already somebody important. You're already somebody great, even if your only audience is your next door neighbor. That next door neighbor means the world to God. And he's working in their lives. And if you're somebody he wants to use in your life, it's just as important as the evangelist that's out there preaching to millions. I mean, it doesn't seem that way to us, but in God's kingdom, that's true. That's true. It's just as important. If you only have $1 to give to somebody in need, that dollar is as valuable and as important and as life-changing, and maybe even more so, than somebody else's $1,000 that they may give into the situation. Yeah, I now want to start going through different Bible stories, but this is enough for today. I just want to bless you and encourage you to know that if you, no matter how small you may think you are in the kingdom of God, you're huge, because you're a part of his plan. And whatever your part is, it is so important. And if you want to be used of God, he's going to use people. This coming year, he's going to be moving through people that you would never expect. He is going to use people to accomplish great things for his kingdom that you would never expect him to have used you. It's like right now, you got somebody that you want to see saved. Oh, I hope you're praying for them, because God is moving in a great way right now, in a greater way than what I've seen him do before. He is pouring his spirit out. And so if you want to serve him, submit to him, listen to him, obey him, because it's time. Now's the time. God is moving. Whatever it is, other than the desires of our flesh and wanting to build our own little kingdoms here, forget about that part. That's not the important thing right now. and probably never will be again. But if you want to be used of God to further the things of his kingdom, if you want to see your loved ones who are lost come to find him, submit yourself to him. Pray. Listen to him. Because he's going to do it. He's already at work. All right. I love you guys. I need to go. I've got a lot of things to do today. Like every day. And in it will be some surprises that I didn't know were coming because my Heavenly Father, that's the way he rolls. All right. I love you guys. You have an awesome day. Thank you. If you've not subscribed, please consider subscribing so that you'll know each day when a video comes up. You can hit the notification bell to be sure you'll know. And share the videos, leave comments if you want to talk to me privately. Send me an email. My email address is in the description of this video. And I just pray that God's blessings will be all over your day and mine today. And then we'll talk again tomorrow for another coffee and a chat. All right, you guys have a good day.